the study of Moi and Nyayoism cannot be complete without reference to Hezekiah Oyugi. It is a bit, I can say that he started life just like any administrator, and I have decided we should not look into his background so much because he came into limelight on Sunday, 1st August 1982. But from the time he was born in Oyugis, coincidentally, he was born in an area that bears his name. He led just a normal life where he went and joined provincial administration, and he was just a normal administrator, no different from any other, nothing out of ordinary. And during Moi's time, he made it, you know, during Kenyatta's time, out of the 8 provincial commissioners, around 5 or 6 were from Kiambu. And then 4 were from Kiambu, and Mahihu and Madhenge were the only pieces who were from Nyeri. So out of 8, 4 were from Kiambu and 2 were from Nyeri. That was during Jomo Kenyatta's time. But during Moi's time, he made a balance such that at least each and every province had somebody a PC who was not a PC in his home area, but a PC elsewhere. For example, from Northeastern, we had Yusuf Haji as a PC, but he worked elsewhere and never worked in Northeastern, unless he worked there as a DO. But DC, PC, elsewhere. So, when the turn came for somebody from Nyanza, remember, previously the person from Nyanza used to be Nyachai. Then Nyachai was made a permanent secretary, and he was made a chief secretary. So it went on that way. I don't know who took over from Nyachai, but later HEZEKIAH Oyugi was the one who was made a PC from Nyanza province. And his station, or the province of posting, was Rift Valley, and that is Nakuru. So the August coup found Moi in Nakuru. Moi had opened the Nyeri ASK show and had used the Nyahururu road to go to Nakuru. He was escorted from Nyeri. You know, that was the character then, that if the president was in your province, you'd accompany him from when he enters your province to when he leaves your province. So the PC for Central was David Musila. David Musila escorted Moi all the way through Nyahururu and the border of Rift Valley and Central Province, where Moi was received by HEZEKIAH Oyugi. Then HEZEKIAH Oyugi escorted him up to Kabarak. Now the system here was, if the president was in your area, you would cease doing all your PC work and you would just be near the president. You would stay with the president until very late. Then you dash to your home, sleep, and then the first thing early in the morning when the president is waking up, you are already there. So when the news came very early on August 1st, which was a Sunday, 1982, that the military you can call it Air Force, had taken over the government, Moi was escorted to a maize plantation, and the people whom he was with throughout were two, among others, because a president, you don't expect him to have two senior people to guard him. There is usually the bodyguards. But the prominent people who were one on the left and one on the right were Mr. Sumbeywa, who was the commandant of the presidential escort. He was called Elijah Sumbeywa. And with him, there was the provincial commissioner Rift Valley, Mr. HEZEKIAH Oyugi. They were later joined by Mr. Mbijiwe, who was the PPO Rift Valley. So those are the people who were near Moi, taking care of him. And Moi was really worried. I can say here that Moi knew and allowed the coup to happen, but it is just like there are some, you just try to light, is it petrol, is it gas or anything? You find petrol lying there, then you place there a matchbox, light a matchbox thinking that, and then it flares more than you expected. That is Moi. He knew it was going to happen, but he didn't know that it would be as serious as it turned out to be. So as they were there, Oyugi kept telling Moi that, Mzee, I will die for you. Mzee, I will die for you. This one touched Moi so much that when normalcy resumed, Moi never forgot that. He made Mbijiwe, who was the PPO, Rift Valley, he was made the commandant of the GSU, the overall commandant of GSU. That was a promotion. And then there was a reshuffle among the permanent secretaries, PS. When there was a reshuffle among PS, the then PS for internal security was Mr. Madenge. Mr. Madenge was reshuffled, and his place was taken over by HEZEKIAH Oyugi. HEZEKIAH Oyugi became the permanent secretary of internal security and provincial administration. In the office of the president then, there were 3 permanent secretaries. Actually, Madenge's office was in Harambee House, but we don't know how or why or what made HEZEKIAH Oyugi, instead of having his office in Harambee House, he had his office in State House, Nairobi, such that the other 2 permanent secretaries, that is Leting and Mr. Mwangi, they still stayed in Harambee House. And you know, Leting was the head of the civil service. So you find that Oyugi found himself with an office in State House. Oyugi developed a characteristic where in State House they could have long discussions, long laughter, they would talk as if they are the closest friends. And once Oyugi was talking to Moi in that one-on-one friendly matter, anybody, and I mean anybody, if you want you can include Vice President, could not come and interfere. So they became that close, And then Oyugi then decided, I have recorded a tape on special DOs. You can watch it, but I can say he started having special DOs. These are people whom he planted 1 DO per district, and the DO was from that district. as I had said in the special deals or whatever, anything happening in the districts, the special deal would ring Oyugi, and Oyugi would the following time talk to the president. But when the normal intelligence used to come, imagine you are in the division, then you are a special branch officer. You go to the district to write an intelligence report, which is then edited by your district security intelligence officer, who then takes it he sends one of the special branch officers by carrier. Yeah, I was looking for the word carrier. This person will now take that one to the province, and then at the province, the provincial special branch officer, through a desk officer, I was also a desk officer once, through a desk officer, he could compile a report, and then the report would be taken again by another runner to Nyati House, to a section commander. A section commander would then forward it to Kanyotu, and Kanyotu would always take reports that he felt that the president needed to hear. But Oyugi, through his special deals, they used to give the president intelligence that he wanted to hear. Plus, if you know Moi is the kind of a person who liked songi, maneno ya masengenyo, sijui nini. And some of these masengenyos were very petty. For example, telling him the wives of people whom his nephew, Peter Kibiego Lagat, used to date and had been given permission by their husbands. You see, husbands, both political and civil servants, they would allow the Paul Kibiego Lagat access to their wives in order to gain favors. I can't count all the favors because of the time constraint. So you see, Moi would like to sit there and talk kusengenya vitu kama hizo. Although we also like that, I can say that. But you see, some of us, we just use that as a password, as a passing cloud, to pass time. And if you get us 10 minutes after such a discussion, we cannot recall what was said. But Moi used to take that to be very, very serious. Then it came out that because Biwott had undermined Ouko so much, Ouko felt that he wanted people who were Luos. You know, Ouko was an adopted Luo. He wanted prominent Luos to go and talk to Moi and tell Moi that whatever he was hearing was not what was happening, and that Ouko was a genuine friend of Moi. That is why, and I've recorded a few tapes on that, that is why on the night that Ouko disappeared, he was expecting visitors. And the visitors included Anguka, Oyugis, and other prominent Luo leaders. But unknown to Ouko, it was security officers who had come to collect him. I would say, if you want to know that, there is a recording for that, and I can refer you to those. Now, when the ripple effect of the Ouko thing came, he was arrested together with Biwott. But Moi, being a tribalistic that he was, Moi had a natural feeling for his Kalenjin tribe. Moi, you tell him anything, a Kalenjin would come, spend a quarter time of whatever, and would have convinced Moi. So when the things came out, Biwott was rehabilitated somehow, but Oyugi's was not rehabilitated. Then he got a sickness which was a motor neurology or something like that. Mimi ni askari, mimi sio daktari. But in your body, I'm made to understand there is a lot of electric wiring going here and there. And then there was an electric shock, something like that. So there is two theories concerning how the motor neurology thing came. I don't know what it is called, but it's something like that. There are two theories that come that he may have been injected something to induce that. But and then there is another theory that, you know, this second theory also applies to Matiba. You see, when you are used to life of raha, and then you are taken to the cells, you sleep on a bare floor, you eat food that and you are used to that kind of life, that thing can bring stress to you, can bring whatever, and can affect you. So both the two theories worked out well. And then that is why he developed that. And when he was supposed to go abroad for treatment, Moi was worried. You'll find that in African countries, when these opposition people, something, they develop medical cases where they're supposed to go abroad, the government is usually fearful for them going, because once they are cured, I mean, when they go for treatment and they recover, there is a high possibility that they'll spill beans there and they'll refuse to come back. So Moi denied him the passport. His passport had already been taken, so it was not taken back. And it reached a stage where Moi was told that if you delay 1 or 2 days, Oyugi will die. And then he was given that permission, and he was sent on stretcher to a plane. But before he boarded the plane, he said in his vernacular language, in Luo, he said that anything I did, I was sent to do it. Now, he never told anybody what he was sent to do. And then he went away and died abroad. When he was very powerful, this is how he used to operate. From Nyayo House, there was James Opio, his village mate, near Oyugi's. When it came to prosecuting multi-party advocates, there was Bernard Chunga as initially as the director of public prosecution. So he was well placed and he could torture everybody, and that is how it was. And that is how I felt that we cannot talk about the history of Kenya, especially the political issue and security issue of Kenya in the 70s, 80s, and 90s without mentioning HEZEKIAH Oyugi.